Hi Angels! So you're probably wondering where I've been for the last while. I've been sick. I'm finally getting over that, and I'm still not completely better, but anyway, ignore the scratch on my face. The cat just scratched me. She wasn't being mean. She's just, you know, anyway, bad angle. Anyway, let's not talk about that right now though. This is actually a video response to JessTube's video on heroes. It's going to be linked down below. I don't have a name for that yet. So it'll be linked down below. You should go ahead and watch his video. It is really good. Plus there's children in it and they're just adorable. This video is a response to his talking about heroes and whether or not it's okay to idolize them. I think it is completely natural to idolize heroes or people and other people in general. And it's just human reaction to want to idolize or want to be like that person. And I have something written here. Psychologist James Huron says that we generally gravitate toward an attempt to copy people who seem to have what we find missing in ourselves and in our lives. So pretty much what he's saying, the person you marvel at reveals qualities you desire most. What I'm going to do is talk about who it is that I idolize. My hero is Queen Esther, and I like to call her Hadassah, actually, based off of this book. That they made a movie off of, right here. Definitely the book is way better than the movie. They butchered it, but it's a good movie otherwise, but they kind of butchered it. And for those of you who don't know who Queen Esther is, you know King Xerxes in the 300? Yeah, his wife, his Jewish wife, actually. So King Xerxes had a wife, and she disobeyed him, so he banished her, and he had to get a new wife. And all the virgins of Persia, of his area, they were granted one night with him to stand out, to become queen. And Queen Esther, or Hadassah rather, but she was called Esther because nobody knew she was Jewish. They thought she was Persian, so she took on the name Esther. And Esther was different than the rest of the women. She was allowed, just like all the other virgins, that she was allowed to take one adornment with her. Well, she had a caretaker with her that was the eunuch for the king, that took care of all the virgins, and she got the advice of the eunuch what adornment she should take with her that would please the king the most. She did what she believed would please the king more than that would please herself. Oh, so of course she got the favor of the king. Well, she got married. She got married to Xerxes. She became Queen Esther of Persia, and all the rest of the days of her life, she devoted herself to loving him. Not only is she the most romantic woman, in my opinion, as far as women go, she's also the most courageous. So let me continue the story and tell you why. So, King Xerxes' second-hand man didn't like the Jews because of one particular Jew, which just happened to be Esther's cousin. He petitioned to the king that he wanted to wipe out all the Jews in Persia because he was that mad. And King Xerxes said, fine, whatever, you can do whatever you want. There was a law that if the queen went to the king without being summoned, she was put to death immediately. The only thing that would save her from being killed immediately is if the king granted her permission as she came to him. So he would have to raise his scepter to her for her to touch the scepter before she got killed. So she went to the king, unsummoned, and the first thing that he did was he raised a scepter to her and he said, Queen Esther, what is it that you require from me? What is your petition? I will give you up to half the kingdom if you ask it. She must have been very beautiful, or at least very awesome, because, you know, anyway, patriarchal society and such. Well, she says to him, King, if I have pleased you, if I have found favor in your sight, I would like you to come to a banquet tomorrow. You and your second-hand man. And he's like, oh, all right. He and his second-hand man come to her banquet, and he says, Queen Esther, what is it you want from me? I will give you up to half of my kingdom if that is what you want. And she says, King, if I have pleased you, if I have found favor in your sight, I would like you to come to another banquet tomorrow. And he's like, all right. He and his second-hand man come to the next banquet. During the second banquet, he says to her, Queen, what is it you want? What is your petition? I will give you up to half the kingdom if that is what you want. Just ask for it. And she says, King, if I have found favor in your sight, I will ask you this petition. She says, Do my people deserve to die? Would you have me killed? And he says, no, I would never have you killed. And she says, I'm Jewish. That's what's going to happen. And he's like, oh, so he finds out what's going on, puts a second-hand man to death. Now, the only thing about it is the fact that the king wasn't able to take back what he had already ordered, but he was able to tell the Jews that they were allowed to fight back. And when they fought back, they won, and that is now the Feast of Purim, which is kind of why I'm obsessed with Jewish culture and holidays. So yeah, that is my hero. My hero is a very romantic and courageous woman, and that is who I want to be. I want to be a courageous woman, a woman who is not afraid to stand up for what she believes in, but also a woman who's going to love her husband more than anything. But I'm not married yet, so I've got a little time to work on that. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me and my heroes. So I'm going to go edit this and then I'm going to go to bed.